I'm Kim, the Abundant Traveler, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you tips and tricks and hacks for getting on and off the chairlift for the first time. In my 20s, a few years ago, I was a ski instructor in Austria. Although I cannot ski the way I used to be able to, I have some amazing tips to make your life easier the first time you come to the mountains and go skiing, trying to get on and off the chairlift, which can be absolutely daunting. The first time that you go skiing, there is so much to think about. You have to get your gear, your skis, your poles, your boots, learn to walk in your boots, learn to carry your skis, all of those things, get all the right clothing, and then you've made it. Oh, get your lift tickets too. And then you finally made it to the mountain, and this crazy thing called a chairlift is there in front of you that you have to learn to navigate. Well, this video will share all of my tips. First, let's talk about preparation. What is the chairlift? Well, sometimes it's called a T-bar, which is a thing that you slide in between your legs. There aren't many of those anymore. Most of the time now you have a 2-person, 4-person, 6-person, and sometimes an 8-person chairlift. Well, what is it like getting in line? Well, first of all, you have to alternate. That means that there are several lines getting in, and you have to go this group, and then this group, and then the next group, and the next group. There's also something called the singles line. That way, if you are skiing on your own, which I don't recommend, but it's not any fun skiing on your own. But if you are skiing on your own, you just pop over to the singles line, and then when they have 4 or 5 people on, say, a 3 or 4 or 5-person chairlift, you can pop in and be the extra person in that group. It's all about being kind when you're getting into the lift line. Please don't ski over other people's stuff. Don't come flying in out of control and running over people. That is not nice. There are also some apps now that give you information as to how long the lift line waits are. So if you want to check those apps like the Epic Pass app or the Icon Pass app, those are a great way to find out how long the lift lines are. Because standing in the lift line for 20-30 minutes is exhausting, it wears your legs out, it's either cold or it's hot, and it's pretty miserable. So you do want to check out these lift line times and go to the lift lines that don't have a long wait. Also, something else to note, when you are going for the first time on the lift line at the bottom of the mountain, that's when you have to show your lift pass. So make sure that you have it handy with you and not tucked in a pocket where the guys checking the lift passes can't get to it. I keep mine right here in my pocket right here, and it's super easy. I just show my arm and then off I go. So as you're going into the lift line, something that you want to do as you're pulling, you can snow plow, you can keep parallel, just make sure you're in control of your skis. As you get to the front of the lift line, there's typically a bar there. What you want to do is you want to have your poles off your hands and just holding them like this. As you go, as the little bar opens and you go into the lift line, please don't push too hard. If you push too hard, you may go over the end of where the chairlifts are, and that is not cool. Also, make sure that you don't have any loose clothing and, things hanging off that might get stuck in the chairlift as well. When you're to the front of the lift line, if it's your first day at doing this, go ahead and tell the lifties, those are the guys working the lift lines, that you are new to this. They can slow down those chairlifts and give you a little more time to get on and off. Well, I don't know about off, but getting on, they can slow it down for you. So as the gates open and you're pushing yourself to the chair lift, make sure to put your poles in one hand. Put your poles in one hand, look over your other shoulder, and watch for that chair lift behind you. Once you see it coming, go ahead and sit down. Sometimes they're awfully low, so be prepared to sort of just fall back into it. Once you're sitting down, the next thing you want to do is scoot yourself all the way back. All the way back makes it a whole lot better and a lot less scary when you are going up the chairlift. Once you're on the chairlift, a couple of tips that I have for you. One is don't start messing around, pulling off your gloves, getting out your phone, doing all these things, shifting around, because it's very possible to drop something. When you drop something, you're basically screwed. because if you're new to skiing, most of the runs underneath the chair lifts are moguls and very narrow and hard to get to, or there's no skiing at all. So just go ahead and keep everything on, keep everything zipped up, and don't worry about needing to get out your phone or talk to your friends or whatever. Wait till you get off the chairlift. Also, another tip, I recommend that you always ride, if possible, chairlifts that have footrests. When you are able to pull down the bar and you are able to put your skis and feet on the rest at the bottom, it makes it much easier on your legs. Again, when you are skiing for the first time or the 50th time, it is a serious sport and you want to give your body a break as much as possible. So bars where you can rest your legs is ideal, especially if you have long legs, because if you don't have a bar where you can rest, half your leg is hanging off and it feels like you're gonna slip out. Additionally, if it's a cold day, I suggest that you sit to the inside of the chairlift because the coldest seats on a chairlift are on the outside. Think about it. All the wind is coming at you, but if you're sitting in between two different people, you're much warmer and cozier and you can hide behind them. Also, I do think that when you're on a chairlift, go ahead and talk to your neighbors. You never know where they're from, what they're doing, what brought them to the area, or are they local? Either way, they may have some great tips and tricks for you. They might have a restaurant suggestion or a great run. And I have met some amazing people on the chairlift that I ended up skiing the rest of the day and having dinner with. I mentioned just a second ago, don't start taking off your gloves and doing all this stuff. You might drop something. That also goes for clacking your skis. You see people on a regular basis, they have snow on their skis and they're there on the chairlift clacking. Well, skis for beginners are not very tight on your boots. And I have seen multiple times where somebody is clacking their skis and all of a sudden their ski falls to the ground. Not a good idea. So if you're going skiing for the first time and you're interested in what to pack and what to wear, make sure to go to the description below and click the link for my free packing guide for going skiing. It's a great guide. It tells you everything that you're going to need. And if you can't afford to buy everything or you don't want to buy everything, then you can always borrow it from a friend. So go to the description below and click the link to the free packing guide. Now let's talk about getting off of the lift. Most of the people that are new to skiing that I have seen are most afraid of getting off the lift. And it can be really scary because you don't want to fall, stop the lift, make everybody wait on you. So here are the ideal things that you should do. 1, keep your poles in one hand. Do not put your poles on and have two hands, because if you do this off the lift, it's likely that the pole, it's not likely, but it's possible that your pole's gonna get stuck in the snow and then you're gonna tumble over. Also, when you're about to exit the chairlift and you lift up your bar, go ahead and scoot to the end of the chairlift. What that does is that poises your body ready to stand up. Well, here we have our poles in one hand and you're ready to stand up, but honestly, there's a lot of leverage in a weird position that you're sitting. Your knees are typically up like this, and it's actually really hard to stand up. So the best thing to do is, once you've scooted to the front and your poles are in your hand, this hand or that hand, it doesn't matter, let the chair lift you up. There is a point on every chairlift where it tips down. The chairlift does this, goes straight, but the run off the chairlift goes down. At that point, the chairlift can actually lift you up and it's very easy to stand up. Here you are, you've stood up and you just ski straight, just relax, ski straight, and ski out of the way of oncoming traffic that is going by, as well as ski out of the way of people behind you getting off of the lift. It can be easy if you do these things. Pole in one hand, scoot to the edge of the seat, and let the chairlift lift you up for you to ski off. So that covers my tips and tricks and hacks for riding a chairlift for the first time. If you have any additional suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Also, if you're interested in skiing for the first time, I have some videos on skiing for the first time, as well as different resorts throughout North America. So I am Kim, the Abundant Traveler, and thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a wonderful first trip skiing. And I will see you out there on the slopes somewhere. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Mwah.